Hi everyone, once again, welcome to Professional Prospects. But before we get right into the agenda of the day, kindly head over to my previous video where I did a tutorial video on CV hacks for applicant tracking system and get to learn a thing or two on how you can get your CV land on the recruiter's desk. So today let's talk about that perfect cover letter. By the end of this video, we're going to understand what is a cover letter. Is it important when applying for a job? The structure of a cover letter, and of course I'm going to share with you tips on how to create that perfect cover letter. So you might want to stick around until the end where we're going to craft our perfect cover letter from scratch. So basically a cover letter is a brief one-page introduction letter that is designed to accompany the CV when applying for a job. So when applying for that dream job, a cover letter is very important because it gets to sell your skills, your qualities and your experiences, and shows the recruiter that you're indeed the best fit candidate for that role. Remember that this is the first impression that the recruiter is going to have of you, so you might want to get it right from the beginning. You may be wondering, why send a cover letter yet I have already shared my CV? Isn't that just repetition of what is in my CV? Well, the answer is no, there is a difference. And the difference is that a CV only highlights your professional history. So let's get into the structure of a cover letter. So an ideal cover letter has to highlight 4 things as follows. That is a brief professional introduction or an opening paragraph, the body, a closing paragraph, and lastly the sign off. So let's unpack these 4 items. The first part being a brief professional introduction. This is where we get to see the salutation and the title of the job that you're applying for. Mention briefly of the qualifications that you possess that makes you the best fit candidate for that position. And a salutation, in whatever you do, please do not write to whom it may concern. Instead, write dear sir/madam or dear hiring manager in case you don't know the person on the receiving end. So the second part is the body. Now, this is the point where you need to personalize your cover letter. Remember in my previous video, I mentioned that you need to tailor your CV for every job application that you make. The same applies for a cover letter. Do not treat your cover letter as one size fits all. So by the time you're getting to this point, you need to have already done your research about that particular company. Go on their website, read on articles that have been written about that company. In short, just try gather as much information as you can about the company. This is the point also where you need to let them know of what you have to offer. Our third item on the list is the closing paragraph. So here have a powerful and positive statement and also mention what makes you the best candidate for that role. So closing the list for us is the sign off. So how you sign off depends on how your salutation was at the beginning of the cover letter. So for instance, your salutation was dear Ms. Namarome, then you'll sign off as yours sincerely, simply because you've mentioned the name of the recruiter and you know who the person is. On the other hand, when you say dear sir/madam or dear hiring manager, then you'll sign off as yours faithfully. So with that, let's draft that perfect cover letter from scratch. So our blank page is ready. Let's go ahead and fill it out. So as we craft our perfect cover letter, have in mind the structure that had the 4 main items, which we just went through. So of course, we start off our cover letter with salutation. Here, let's assume we know the recruiter, after which the title of the job you're applying for follows. I decided to go with the position of a corporate communications assistant and also a brief mention of where we learned about the job. In the next paragraph, let the recruiter know that you're indeed qualified for this position. And if you're a member of any professional body, this is the point to mention that. Next, you need to mention your soft skills and hard skills as well. And it can go something like, I'm passionate, ambitious, and hardworking with a keen interest in joining your organization, bringing with me successful, proven track record in drafting persuasive messages, conducting market research, press releases, and managing social media platforms. So in the next paragraph, you need to sell yourself. Mention of previous projects you did, which resulted into positive gains. It could be that you helped the company realize some financial gains or helped in new product development. So by the time you're getting to this point, you have already done your research about the company and you have identified what has attracted you to that company. It could be that their mission statement or vision statement resonates with you, or you have seen a CSR that they did, which really impacted the community positively, and you'd want to be part of that team. As we close the cover letter, tell them what you can bring on board given the opportunity, and also close with a positive statement that will make them want to call you in for interviews. Remember, we said that the sign-off depends on the salutation. So in this case, since we address the recruiter by name, we are going to sign off as yours sincerely, followed by your name. And don't forget to write down your phone number so that it's easier for them to contact you. So as I wind up, I'd like to give you 4 tips as you create that perfect cover letter. So tip number 1, ensure that your cover letter captures the keywords in relation to the job that you're applying for. Tip number 2, keep it brief. Have in mind that the recruiter has a ton of CVs to go through. Tip number 3, do not submit your cover letter with punctuation errors, grammatical mistakes, or spelling mistakes. In this day and age, with so many apps that checks on grammar, use them to your advantage. Lastly, but not least, don't treat your cover letter as one size fits all. Remember, just like a CV, you need to tailor your cover letter for every application that you make. So that's it. Thank you for watching. In case you learned something new, kindly give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also share with your circle so that they can also learn something new. And if you have any question that you'd want clarified, you can send me an email anytime. So all the best as you look for that dream job. Until next time, goodbye.